Hey everyone, my name is Ben Chaish, and I am admittedly a photography nerd. And so if you are looking for good ideas to maybe gift someone in your life that is also a photography nerd, I brought together a massive list of things. Usually people are like, oh, here's like 10 things for photographers or whatever. So what I'm gonna do is make chapter markers below and categorize things between, you can already see a lot of stuff on this table, which might be of interest to some people, but I would suggest looking at that little timeline thing below here. And as well, you could always just jump down into the description and look at the massive list. I'll list things in order and by section. My friends at Moment have actually helped me sort of craft the beginning of this guide. So it'll be the first thing in the description down below if you want to go over to their site and kind of see my thoughts on a few of these items and pick some things up over there. It's all stuff that I either own or want to own. So hopefully you're gonna get something good for someone you know and love, and I'm hoping I can facilitate that for you. And then the last thing I'll say before jumping into this is that, yes, I'm gonna talk about a lot of stuff, but clearly that's not the thing that makes a good gift, or B, is gonna provide you with your own satisfaction. So spend your time and your money wisely and don't get caught up in the whole gear acquisition syndrome thing. But that being said, let's jump into it. And then right off the bat, this video is definitely not sponsored or anything like that, but we do have a giveaway. I reached out to a few of my friends in the industry, and by friends, I mean companies in the industry, but I know the people that own these companies, so that's pretty rad. So there's definitely a few things you could win here, and I'm gonna pick different people for each, randomized, so there's no like picking favorites or anything like that. So if you could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then leave maybe like your Twitter or Instagram handle in a comment below, as well as just like a comment generally about photography or whatever you might have liked in this or something I should have added. That would be great. That way I can pick some winners, find some people who would be great candidates for winning things like this, and we can go about our jolly way. The first of which is going to be this Clever Supply Co. strap. This is my own personal one, but my friend Todd, who is the owner of Clever Supply Co., is very generously gifting one of these straps to one of you. So the first giveaway is that Clever Supply Co. strap. The second giveaway is this Fujifilm bag made by Moment. It is really great, and I actually just got it in because it is the giveaway. And it's got a ton of space. It's really kind of like ergonomically made, and it's a sweet bag. So definitely like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff if you were interested in winning that bag. Also for Moment, we're giving away a set of their Cinebloom filters. So it's a filter I have in here as well as in here. It's kind of like just that diffusion filter. I'm actually using one right now on this shot, and it just gives a tiny bit of haze to that. And the cool thing is they just came out with the 5%, which makes this so much better and so much more usable as like an everyday kind of thing. And as well, actually, you know what? Maybe I'll give one of these away too. I could mail one of these out. I have a bunch of these Cascade mugs that I will, sure, give one of these away, which would be great. But as well, my Cascade presets, I'm gonna give away a set of those, as well as a set of my Cascade LUTs. So be subscribed, all that stuff for those. And the last thing is a copy of my photographing couples lesson that I did with Moment. You can definitely check that out if you're interested. It's on crazy sale right now. And so I'm just basically giving away all the things that I have, as well as a few things from some friends of mine. So anyway, if you could like, subscribe, comment, that would be great. It would help the channel, and then hopefully get some of this good stuff into your own hands. So the first thing on our list are these camera straps from Clever Supply Co. They work with Peak Design stuff, and honestly, getting a great camera strap for a photographer is, I think, probably the easiest and best way to give a good gift. And if you are looking for a more inexpensive version of this for somebody that already has these Peak Design hardware, they came out with these in black, and everything Peak Design is on sale right now, so those are awesome. And then two of my most essential everyday wedding photography items are this new bag by Holdfast Gear. It's called the Quiver. It attaches to the Moneymaker. It is by far my favorite dual camera strap on the market, and I've been using it for almost a decade now. And then this bag straps either to the back or the front of it, allows you to carry flashes and extra lenses and stuff, and keeps your hands free at all times without you worrying about a bag falling off your shoulder. So great deal there, and I highly recommend both of those things. The next thing is this Nomadic Peter McKinnon camera bag. I'm having a hard time holding it up because all of my stuff is in here. Literally my entire wedding kit fits in this bag, all the lenses, all the flashes, all the cameras. There's, I think, 4 cameras and 5 lenses in here right now, maybe 6, 2 flashes, batteries, all sorts of stuff. This has been a really great solution for me, and I'm really stoked on it. The next thing is like my splurge purchase of the year, which was this Peak Design travel tripod. Honestly, I hate tripods, but this thing is amazing. It's on sale right now. And yes, I think you should splurge for the carbon fiber one. It's kind of expensive at $539, but it's just one of those things that like, I never wanted to spend money on, but once I did, I was really glad I did spend the money on it. So take that for what it's worth. I think it's a great deal. And then again, we talked about these Moment Cinebloom filters. They are my favorite little diffusion filter. I've been using it on the X100V all the time, and the new 5% is just so much better. This is the 5% you're seeing here, which is light diffusion. Fantastic filter, and it's definitely my favorite. On top of that, all of the Moment filters are on like crazy sale right now. And so if you are into video and stuff, you are gonna know about variable ND filters. They're super inexpensive for what they are, and especially with the kind of like Black Friday holiday sale, it's definitely something you should check out. And speaking of filters, I've been using the actual square hood on my X100V for a long time, but I couldn't actually fit the Moment Cinebloom filter within that. So anytime I use the Cinebloom, I'd have to take the hood off and then put it on the adapter. It was really annoying. And I think it's honestly because the Cinebloom has these extra ridges. So kind of a bummer, but this much cheaper one from Haug that I think it's what it's called. You can buy these on Amazon, fits on there, no problem. It's much cheaper, and you know, pick up a 5% and so pick up a 5% Cinebloom and then this Haug filter for way less expensive, and toss it on your X100 series camera and rock and roll. And this next thing is something that Moment sent over for review, but I've been really stoked on it. It is the WCL X100 II. It's a conversion lens that converts your X100's 35mm equivalent to a 28mm equivalent. And yeah, it's like makes it a little bit bigger, but you can definitely just pop this off, use it as a 35mm, and then toss this on. It screws on as if it's a filter. Now you have a 28mm, and it makes this camera super versatile. So if you have an X100V and you're looking for something a little bit wider, I've been really excited about this new lens combo. And then obviously I talked about my presets. They are on like 50% off sale right now, which is the highest sale we've ever done by far. So check those out. And then as I mentioned in the giveaway, my lesson with Moment on photographing couples is on crazy sale. It's $30 right now. So it's a $30 for a 2-hour lesson. Unbelievable for that amount of content. Try to find any other wedding photography adjacent lesson for that cheap of a price. You're just not gonna find one. I don't even know how we're making money on this at this point, but there's been hundreds of you who have signed up, so thank you. And if you've been waiting to do it, now would be the time, because $30, there's no way it's gonna get cheaper than that. And then on top of that, if you are into video, you might be interested in the LUTs that I have made with my friends at Gamut. I've been using them for all my videos, and they just are a really great look for people who are, you know, especially using my presets, and then they can use these LUTs as well. It's just a really great look, and I'm pretty proud of them. Then moving on to general software stuff as well. I use PicTime for all of my gallery and delivery and all that kind of stuff. They're doing a $29 unlimited storage and gallery migration for 50 cents. So if you're with someone else and you want to switch over, they'll move all your galleries for you for only 50 cents. And then unlimited storage for like, I have just 10 years of galleries on there for 29 bucks a month, a solid deal. And then as much as I don't like spending all of the money on the Creative Cloud, getting Lightroom and Photoshop for 10 bucks a month is just like the biggest no-brainer ever. If you haven't, for whatever reason, subscribed to the photography subscription thing from Adobe, that would be a great time to do it for sure, even though it's just 10 bucks a month anyway. But the bigger thing is if you want to use Premiere or Illustrator or any of those other things, Creative Cloud is at $29 a month instead of $52 a month or $53 a month. So anyway, solid deal, and just jumping in the software I actually use. And the last bit of software is just this culling software that I use from Narrative. It's called Select. It just makes the culling process way easier. It kind of just smart enables and tells me if things are in focus, if people's eyes are open, and it saves me a ridiculous amount of time on the thing that I probably hate most about editing. And then the last thing within this kind of like software-y learning type of thing is my Patreon. It's $10 a month. So $120 for an entire year. I'm doing a minimum of 2 a month and have been doing that for a couple years. So as soon as you've subscribed to it, you have access to every video that I've done so far, including entire classes on film photography, on editing, on elopement photography, a ton of stuff. So it's definitely what I would consider a very good value. And clearly I'm biased, but I'm actually a patron of a few other photographers. So, I mean, I think it's a great deal. Okay, so jumping into some of the sort of like computery style things that we use as editors. This is the Kingston Workflow Station. It's a USB hub that's specifically made for card readers and things like that. So once I get done with the wedding and have all these files from all these cameras, I'm able to just dump them all onto this thing. I can plug hard drives into it, all sorts of stuff. It runs off of one USB-C cable. It's super fast. It's modular as well, so you can change those out, and then you can actually take the small readers on the go with you too. So big fan of this, and it's on sale right now, so extra bonus. And while I don't actually have an iPad mini, if you don't have one of the newer generations of iPads, I think it would be a really cool little tool. I actually use the iPad all of the time, whether it is the iPad Pro, which I have, and the Magic Keyboard, I think is an absolute essential for it. But if I didn't want to use it more as a computing device and more of just like a check the internet, check your email, that kind of thing, honestly, I use this for note-taking, for planning these videos, for script writing. Anytime I'm on a client phone call or something with a wedding planner or even a brand or something like that, I'm always using the iPad Pro. Take all my notes. That way they sync to my computer, they sync to my phone. Honestly, I just think the experience is really great and I'm a big fan of it. Now, getting into more nerdy things, if you watched my backup videos, you know that I'm a huge fan of the Synology system. I would go with a 4-bay, so you have expansion capabilities, and then get one of the ones that's like maybe a DS920. And honestly, it's just one of my favorite pieces of technology and gives me a lot of reassurance knowing that my stuff is safe and backed up and I can access it from anywhere. Going along the lines of random little tech things, if you have an iPhone 12 or 13 that has MagSafe, this little battery pack from Anker, just being able to pop this on, use it for a little bit, charge it up, and then take it back off is just a really sweet setup. And then actually, I'll just add this as well. I'm a big fan of this little wallet. I'm pretty stoked on it. Now, this is a random thing, but when you're traveling, the ability to charge things like your computer and your cameras and your iPad and your phone, very essential. The thing about this one is, yes, it's a little bit bigger, but it actually has an AC outlet. So you can charge all sorts of stuff with this. Let's say you don't have a USB charger for some piece of tech like a camera battery or a light or something random like this. You can just plug in like a normal outlet and get that, as well as USB-C, a couple of USBs. And I definitely recommend this battery bank thing from Anker, even though don't know what that noise is, but I still love it. And then here is a glorious pile of film. If you want to splurge on someone that is a film photography enthusiast, buying them film is just the key to someone's heart. The things that are kind of special to me and that I just hoard forever are the Cinestill ones, the 800T and the 50D. They're literally motion picture films, stuff they shoot movies on that are repackaged into 35mm stills. And then this is probably my favorite film of all time. The colors in this are just absolutely fantastic, and I absolutely love shooting it, so giving this as a gift to somebody kind of empowers them to go out and shoot those roles that maybe they're hoarding. And then along with the film vibe, Negative Supply has been making my film scanning something that I can actually do, and it has been super fun. So this is a basic carrier 35. They have a basic carrier 120 for medium format. And then this little light table has a 99 color rendition index, I think is what CRI stands for. So it's super accurate. You can have all these other light tables that give you weird colors and whatnot. And you're spending a ton of money to buy nice films. You should spend the money to get one with a high CRI rating, so you're getting the actual colors you want. And I've been having a ton of fun with these. If someone you know is a film photographer but doesn't scan their own film, giving them a gift card to a place like Indie Film Lab would be a great idea. That way they can shoot some rolls, get them developed and scanned by an amazing, reputable place, and get some stuff that will look incredible. And on that same note, film cameras are just hard to know where to buy them and how to buy them, all that kind of stuff. And KEH has been a place where I've probably bought 10 plus film cameras over the year, just because I know that their grading is good and they're a brand I can trust. So getting someone either a camera from KEH or just a gift card to there, I think would also be a solid purchase. And then there's just a bunch of lenses that aren't that expensive that I think would be a good mix for anybody who shoots a certain type of brand. I really love this 18mm from Fujifilm. I use it on my Xe4 all the time. And then kind of a random lens, but I reviewed this on the channel a while back. It's the 7 Artisans 35mm f/0.95. This is the TT Artisan 50mm f/1.4. Of all the lenses I own, in terms of price to performance, this is probably the best lens in that category that I've ever owned. And then if you're looking for a more wide angle lens, this is the 7 Artisans 28mm f/1.4. It's another one of those lenses that is really inexpensive in comparison to everything else out there on the market, and still delivers absolutely amazing results. And then speaking of cameras and things like that, you know, go big or go home. The X100V is still like my, if you could only have one camera and it was just for personal use, just like documenting your life, everything like that, I still recommend this to everybody. I think it's the best camera out there for just the general everyday photographer. You can do incredible things with it, and lots of the last year of my own personal life has been photographed on this, as well as some paid and professional gigs. Then if you want a similar experience, but with the ability to change lenses and kind of grow in a system a little bit more, the Xe4 is a fantastic option. And the Xe4 is a fantastic option that gives you most of the same things in the same kind of small form factor as the X100V for a little bit less, and then you get the option of kind of picking which lenses you want to go with. And then let's say you just came across a lot of money and wanted to buy one of the most unique and interesting cameras on the market for your own either professional or personal life. The Q2 Monochrome is a camera that I'm borrowing right now on loan from KEH, and it has been one of the most enjoyable cameras to use that I have ever used. So if you want to go out there and splurge on something that will make incredible images that you will just want to carry around with you every day, this camera might be the one to go for. And then on the complete other side of the spectrum, this is an Ilford Sprite 35-2. It is like just a janky, cheap point and shoot camera, but it has a flash, and you can buy it brand new for super cheap. It's basically a disposable camera that you don't actually throw away, but it gives you that really like 90s summer camp disposable camera vibe, which is pretty popular right now. And then a couple things for lighting. Aperture just sent me this LS60X, and I think it is the best constant light for wedding photographers or filmmakers. For me personally, it is by far the best thing that has happened to my reception photography in probably 10 years. And if you are just generally interested in getting into YouTube or talking head things or video like this, Aperture has recently come out with their Amaran line, and they are phenomenal lights. I have the Amaran 200X, which is what I film all of these videos with, but you could definitely get away with even the 100D. And then I have the Light Dome 2, and then I have the big softbox Light Dome 2 from them. But I think a basic kit with the 100D and the Light Dome SE would do pretty much what this is doing for significantly less money. And honestly, I think that they are fantastic lights, and big fan of those things. And then last but not least, my friends at Stanley have sent over a few things for me recently, and I'm just a big fan of theirs. They're based in Seattle, and especially kind of coffee things like this. It is, I think they call it like the Never Spill or something, for someone who A, has young kids, and then B, has to drink their coffee over an extended period of time. I can't tell you how many times my kids have knocked over my coffee all over the carpet or all over the floor. So being able to just twist this top and close the lid has been fantastic. And I've also been bringing this and a few other things as water bottles and coolers and things like that in my car when I go to weddings, because there's nothing worse than being dehydrated at a wedding right about the time the band starts playing and you get that headache. not very fun. So hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your information where we could contact you if you win these straps and presets and bags and all that good stuff. So everyone have a happy holidays, whatever that means to you, hopefully spent with some friends and family. Get out there, document your life. I would encourage you to bring a camera to some of these events, even if you are a photographer. And thanks so much for the support over the year. The channel has definitely grown, and I am planning on doing much more in this endeavor. Remember that everything that I talked about is in the description down below, as well as just the stuff that I use on a daily basis. Again, subscribe if you aren't already, and I will see you all on the next one.